Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with the Contoured Chemist. Today I'm coming at you, Seint's makeup, and we are talking all about one of my favorite things in the world, which is Lashify lashes. So I've been getting a ton of questions lately about how to get started, and I'll be honest, it has changed so much since I first started wearing these lashes that it was hard for me to know where to start to explain it quickly and easily. So I'm just going to share everything I've learned, all of my tips and tricks to get started if you are brand new to Lashify. And I'm just gonna put it all in this video. So if you wanna check it out, keep watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And thanks for being here. All right, friends, let's get right on into it. I have not done a Lashify video in so long. There's been a lot of changes, and so I'm getting a lot of comments on old videos, and I'm like, well, that's because they don't do it that way anymore. So I just kind of wanted to update you guys, and I've gotten a ton of questions lately about where do I start, like what kit to pick, and so I never really kind of talked about that, and I want to cover all my bases here. So I'm gonna go over everything from removing, because these are literally falling off right now. So I'm gonna show you how I remove them. I'm going to show you what your kit, how it comes, and kind of how I recommend choosing what you wanna get started with and why, and what's worked for me over the past over 2 years I've been wearing these. So I have tried it all, and I've done every application method, and I'm gonna show you what works for me and how I recommend you start. Okay, so first of all, let's just go over the control kit. So if you are brand new to Lashify, you might not know even what that means, but pretty much when you go to the website to get started, you pick a control kit. And this is what it looks like, and this is actually one I am giving away. You go over to my Instagram account. This month I'm giving away a whole box of my favorite things, and one of my favorite things in the whole world is Lashify. So I'm giving away an entire control kit of the type B style, the bold lash, which is my favorite. So I'm gonna show you guys, you can win this one. I'm gonna show you kind of what comes in it and your options when you're choosing a kit. So here's your kit. You get a set of instructions. It's a booklet with pictures step by step. I'm gonna go over all of those and how I recommend applying them for the first time. Let's see, so in here is actually when you remove this, I guess, what is this? This foam divider. It is a storage box for your gossomers. Here's what your kit looks like. So you can choose white or black. That is simply the color of the case. So I chose black, just my favorite color. And here's what the kit looks like, okay? So in a control kit, you get your choice of a style of lash, and every control kit comes with a 12 millimeter and a 14 millimeter length. So I'll show you more on that in a second. Fuse control wand, okay? So that's how you apply and fuse. And then you get your bond, which this is the Whisper Light. It comes with a side in white and a side in black. And then this is the glass, which is coat you put on top to remove stickiness and to help waterproof them. Okay, so you also get what they call wandums. They're these little silicone sleeves that you can slide over the tip of your wand and allows you to get a better fuse. Okay, so that is the entire control kit. Now you might be saying, okay, what the heck? I don't know the difference between those three styles, and I'm gonna kind of show you what they look like. Okay, so this is my box. They've changed things a little bit since I started. Again, I did this over 2 years ago. It didn't even used to come with glass, and I'm so glad they made that change, because glass is by far the superior top coat, and you used to have to buy it extra, so that's an awesome update. Okay, so I have a few in here. I mostly have them everywhere, to be honest. I have a few of the core lashes in here. So with the control kit, you get to choose between A, B, and C as part of the core line of lashes. So if you're brand new, you've probably never even seen what gossamers look like. This is a gossamer cartridge, and you can see the little gossamers inside, okay? So this is a B style. I will take a picture of the 3 differences of the lashes pulled out so you can see the entire thing next to each other. I feel like that is the biggest question, that people don't know which one to start with. Okay, I'm gonna try to put these next to each other so you guys can see the comparison. Okay, so the core lashes you can choose from. A stands for amplify, B stands for bold, and C stands for curl. Okay, so if you're looking at these 3, they are different lengths because I don't have any small A's. Amplify is the most natural, okay? This has a J-type curl, which means it's the softest curl of all of the lashes. It has more fibers, but the individual fibers are thinner, okay? So it's going to give you more of a wispy look, and that one is definitely the most natural. It's kind of hard to tell, in my opinion, what you're gonna really prefer until you try it on your eye. For me personally, the A-lash does not look good. It's too straight, and it sticks out it just sticks out way too straight on my eyes because of my hooded eyes. I need it to curl more. Okay, so you kind of have to try it, but if you are just looking for the absolute most natural look you can get, just to start and try it, Amplify would be your best bet. Second lash is B, okay? B has less number of individual fibers. So in comparison to A has 35 and B only has 21 on each gossamer lash. But the individual fibers are like double the thickness. So B's are going to actually give you more of that, like I'm wearing mascara, but I don't have clumpy lashes kind of look. I have B's on right now. Now, granted, these are like literally falling off, so don't look at them too close, but I have B's on the inside and outside corner. They are my personal favorite for using mixed with other lashes. It has the same curl as the C, so it's got more of a curl. It's considered a D type curl, which is a strong curl. I recommend, if you plan on reusing your lashes and trying to wash and save as many as you can for reuse, I would use the B lash. Because they're that thicker individual lash, they actually will hold up longer, in my opinion. Every time I wear A's and C's, they break apart faster than the B's. If I wear them all in comparison, I can tell a huge noticeable difference. And then the C lash. So the C lash has the same curl as B, the same number of fibers as A, and the same fiber width as A as well. So it's very similar. It's kind of like a hybrid between the two. You're gonna get that wispy look like A, but you get the same curl as B. So two of my favorite things is to stack, and I'll go into that in a minute, B's and C's. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the wispiness, but you get that thickness from the B. They have the same curl, which means that they will stack and you won't have lashes sticking up straighter than others and looking off, which I find is the biggest issue with A's. If you're going to use them with B's or C's, they're straighter, so they're not as seamless when you're using them together, if that makes sense. Okay, so in your control kit, you get to choose white or black kit, A, B, or C. So depending on your preference, you pick which style of lash. You automatically get it in the 12 and 14 length. So these go anywhere from 8 millimeters to 18. And let me just tell you, you more than likely do not need an 18. Before I started, I watched a bunch of tutorials and I was like, everyone's using 16s. I'm gonna need a 16. I can tell you the reason why these are in there is because these are 16s and look how long they are. I look crazy in 16s because they touch my eyebrow. So I recommend starting with the control kit and seeing which size works best on your eye. Those sizes are in the control kit because they are the most universal for every eye shape and size. So for me, 15 is as high as I ever go, but not all of them come in 15s. These do not. But you're not gonna know until you try it on your own eye and be like, okay, I need it a little longer here. I can go up to that next size, or nope, I need a smaller size in my inside corner, so you can go down to 10 or even 8. So I feel like that's right in the middle, and from there you can gauge if you need to go up or down a little to get the perfect fit, or to try other styles if that one wasn't your favorite. Now, once you try those and you kind of figure out what you like, then I recommend going and trying other types of gossamers. Now, they do have a bunch of other styles. So there is a line called the Intimates, which are very, very natural. So these are jet black. The normal gossamers are all just black. The Intimates are different colors depending on your hair color for the most natural. If you need ashy down to redheads or anything in between. There's also a prismatic line, which are all colored, and all of those, both Intimates and prismatics, come in A's and C's. So you just choose the style and the size you want. Now, my very favorites, because I like volume in my lashes, is the volume line. In the volume line, you have D's, E's, EEs, and F's, and they are slightly more expensive and they do not come in the control kit. So those are kind of like add-ons. And I feel like they're a little deceiving. So it's hard to know. I'll be honest, the first time I got, this is an E for comparison. Okay. First time I got one of these, I was like, whoa. You will get more used to lashes the longer you wear them. When I first started wearing them, I felt like C's were very obvious on me. And then I got used to them. I'm like, no, I want more depth. So then I started using B's. Then I started stacking B's and C's. Then I got into the volume line, because when I first started, there was no volume line. You had to stack in order to get a thicker looking lash. So now that there's all of these options, I'll admit, this is not the core line. This has volume and core lashes, and that is my day-to-day favorite because it takes me less time to apply because I need less lashes in order to get that volume look that I'm going for. So on my eyes right now, I will take a picture and show you guys, but ignore the fact that these need to come off so bad. I've been wearing these over a week, and I've got B14, E15, E15, B14, B12. Okay, so that is my entire lash. Because I'm wearing E's in the middle, see how much thicker and how many more lashes? In comparison to B's, B's have 21 lashes per gossamer. These E's have 58. So you would have to stack more than 2 in order to get the same thickness. Now these have a slightly thinner actual thickness, but you have so many more lashes. So E's are called Extreme. There's also an EE, which I have tried. I don't think I have any in front of me. The same number of lashes and the same thickness, but they have a stronger curl. So these E's have a D curl in comparison with these are a D curl. These are a DD curl. Okay, these are stronger. The O curl is on the EEs, and that is the extra extreme, and they are very curly. I can't wear them as easily because they come up and just touch my eye. So the longer of the lash, I feel like the easier to wear, because if you compare these 14s versus this one's a 12, okay, when you get in that close, I can't wear those small curly ones in close to my eye because they just come up and they touch my eye. They go too far back. So I like to kind of use a few of these for volume and the curl, and then I will use my B's in with it to kind of get the look I'm going for. The D lash, which stands for drama, has a little bit more numbers of lashes per gossamer than the B lash does, but they have the same thickness and just more of a curl. So this is a DD curl, which is similar to the E. They have the same curl. So these stack really nicely with each other, or you can use them really nicely with each other because they have that same curl. Last but not least, if I can find mine, is F. So F stands for fluffy, and I think this is even the truffle lash. So a few come in truffle, which I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera. They're actually a mix of brown and black, so they're even more natural. They're not so stark and black. And these are so cool because they have a mixture of the curls. I don't know if you can tell. They have a D, C, and a J curl. These have about the same number, less than the extreme number of fibers, but they have the same thickness as the E's as well. All right, so now that you know which lashes you want to pick, all you got to do is you buy your control kit and then you're ready to try it for the first time. Now, obviously, I've got to take this off to show you guys how to apply. Mix up the order a little bit, but I kind of wanted to show you guys how I would remove it without putting them on and then removing them immediately. All right, guys, so removal is super simple. I've been wearing these over a week, and before I remove this, I want to show you guys something. So I lost my outer corner last night when I was washing my face, but I had to go take my son to school this morning. So I didn't want to look crazy with half my lashes. So I just applied one to the outer corner. So I kind of looked balanced. I actually have one less gossamer on this side than this side, but I wanted to show you guys what it looks like before I remove these when your application is off. So I get messages all the time because my clients know I'm a Lashify lover and I wear them 24/7. I do not, let's just put this out there. I want to preface this by saying I am not in any way associated with Lashify. I don't work for them. I don't make sales off of this, nothing. I just truly love the product. So I share what I love. So I help clients all the time troubleshooting with Lashify because they know I've been wearing this forever and I've done so many tutorials on it. So one of the biggest questions I get is on longevity. It is the first thing you got to master is the proper application, and you will get much better longevity, I promise. So I'm going to show you what improper application looks like. I literally threw this on in 2 seconds. And I didn't wash the gossamer first and remove all the bond previously, so it was sticking to my wand and it was a mess. I just kind of wanted it on so I could go like 20 minutes and go take him to school, and I wasn't trying to get it perfect. Now, right after I applied, it felt fine. Like I can close my eyes really hard and I can't feel anything, which is number one you want to do after you apply. If you can feel something, then the spine of your gossamer is too close to your waterline. Now, it is very possible, because I proved it, you can apply them still too close to your waterline and not feel it. But throughout this past hour, my eye has been starting to feel irritated and I can feel like something is off. When applied correctly, these things are weightless. You will not feel them. They are nothing like strip lashes that you can feel. You will have to kind of get used to them, but now I can't feel anything on my eye at all. They are virtually weightless. If you can feel something, your application is off. So I just started feeling it just felt a little weird. It doesn't hurt, but I've been wearing these long enough to know my application was off. And I looked at it, and I'm gonna, hopefully if you guys get grossed out by eyeballs, this video might not be for you. So can you see that it is on my waterline? I hope you guys can see that. It is touching my waterline. And that right there, besides the irritation, which after a day of this, I would just have to take it off because it would be starting to really make your eyes red and irritated. It's obviously a sign your application is off, but the number one thing is that longevity. Your lashes will start falling off. If they are touching the waterline in any way, like this won't last. It won't last at all. It'll come off no matter how much bond. Look at this. You can already tell. If I go like this and then push it down, do you see? It just popped right off where it's not adhered to my lashes because it can't, the base, the spine of the gossamer, which that's an E, so they're pretty thick on the E's. Okay, that spine has nothing to adhere to. It should be adhered to my actual lashes. It will not ever adhere to a waterline that is wet, okay? And you don't want it to if you want them to last. So I could probably easily just take that and pull it right off. I'm gonna show you guys how we properly remove them. By just pulling them off, you're actually going to pull out more of your natural lashes in the process. Now, you might still have some of your natural lashes stuck to the gossamers when you take them off, and that's completely normal because it's holding all of those natural lashes you would have shed naturally. It's just holding them with the bond. So if you see your natural lashes in there, it's not that it's causing damage at all. It's because you would have naturally lost those over that past week. It's just normal. Okay, so by far the easiest way to remove them is the melt away. So I'll be honest, when I first started, they did not have melt away. I had to use a dual phase oil-free eye makeup remover for probably a good year and a half before they came out with this. And it worked fine, but it was not nearly as easy. It would take a lot longer to remove them and was a little bit harder than this. This is so easy. And no joke, guys, I've had this bottle for over a year and I've barely put a dent in it. It might have been even longer than that. I don't even know. I still have a lot left. So in the instructions, you'll see they say use a cotton pad and you can just kind of hold it on your eye and let it kind of sit for a minute and soak, and then you can just pull them all away. I don't want to waste that much on a cotton pad, so I use a Q-tip. Now, I have been using this same Q-tip since I started wearing these lashes. They're lasting me forever as well. I just got that little thing off of Amazon, and I use black Q-tips just so I don't have white fuzzies in my lashes that I want to reuse. So I take them off and I put them in a little container. And if you do plan on reusing them, all you have to do is put some 91%? Just put some 91% isopropyl alcohol. Put them on there, you put them in there, just enough in there to kind of cover your lashes and let them soak a bit. You can let them soak overnight. It doesn't damage them in any way, but it will really soften up that bond that's left over to where I can just take out individual lashes, put them on a paper towel, use my Q-tip and just kind of gently get off any remaining bond. I use my spoolie. I have everything Lashify branded, guys. I'm telling you, I've been using this forever. I use my spoolie to kind of comb through them, let them dry. They're good as new. Volume lashes, the volume line, although they are more expensive, they will last so much longer. Like you can reuse these so many times. They don't break down nearly as quick as the core lashes. So just a heads up. Okay, so I'm just gonna shake this. I'm just gonna take my Q-tip and get it wet. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the base of my lash and I'm gonna start gently kind of letting that melt away, dissolve that bond, and I just go back and forth. You can kind of go downwards and you'll see they'll just simply pull right off. All right, there we go. So now I can save those and reuse them. Usually it's the outside corner and the very inside corner that they don't really last, okay? And that's just natural lashes on the inside and outside corner, and they will break down quicker. So that's over a week wear. That's normal. You can't necessarily save them all, but sometimes you totally can. So I'm just going to use whatever's remaining on here to make sure I have no bond left in my lashes. Look at that. Can you see what fell out? Those are the inside spines of some of the ones that broke down. The spines will just kind of, like the interior of the spine will just kind of come out. It's crazy when the coating on the outside just starts breaking down. So number one, you can also use a spoolie, some kind of disposable spoolie. You can put it in the melt away as well. I like to just kind of spoolie through my lashes and make sure I have no bond left. If you have bond left in your lashes, that can make your eyelashes start falling out. Otherwise, I've been using these lashes for years. My lashes have not changed and not been damaged in any way. I feel like the only thing I can tell is that maybe they're slightly straighter than they used to be, but that's because I don't curl them every day anymore. So that's the only thing I've ever noticed. Okay, so normally after I remove them, I fully wash my face and I fully shower, and I enjoy having them off for a few minutes, and I rub my eyes because you can't really do that once you're wearing them. But for sake of time, I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to kind of make sure I get, the more of this you can get off of your eye, the better, because you don't want any of that remaining, or it can give you longevity issues, which is why I say cleanse your skin. I did want to mention they do have a more portable version of this for traveling now called Release, that is actually like in a tube that you can use as well. I have yet to try that. It's brand new, but I'm excited to try it. So, okay, when it comes to actual prep for actually applying your new set of lashes, I want to clarify a few things from old videos. I get some pretty hateful comments on some of my old videos because I recommend this micellar water. Okay, let me just preface this by saying, when I started wearing these lashes, they did not have pre-cleanse. Okay, I am a chemist. That is my background. I know that oils break down these lashes. I have studied the ingredients, and there are no oils in this, no matter what you say. There are none. I've been using this to prep my lids for over 2 years and have no issues of longevity. And I know a lot of my clients have used it as well and had no issues. Now, if you are using this and having problems with longevity, by all means, try this. You kind of want to trial and error and figure out what works for you. Because to be honest, everybody's eyes are very different. Everybody's skin is very different. I have very oily eyelids, and this works for me. Now, I've used this for a very long time, and again, there's a difference in people's skin. I get better longevity with this than this when I pre-cleanse with my micellar water. Okay, so take it for what you want. If you are wanting to start off like with as little investment as possible because you want to just make sure you can even apply them, you don't necessarily have to buy this. I would just get the control kit, try something like this, learn application, see if you can get good longevity. And if you can't, then you can invest in something more expensive. Okay, just my 2 cents. That is what works for me. So I tend to, on the daily or weekly, because mine lasts a full week before I change them, I use this. Still to this day, it still works better for me. I'm sorry if it doesn't work for you, but I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So all I do is get some, again, on a black cotton swab. I go all the way along my lash line, all the way up on my eyelid and then under my eye and the inner corner. I don't want to have any oils left. Okay, let's talk bonds, because I know this can be confusing when you're starting out, because a lot of people talk about bondage and night bond and all these different options. The kit does come with Whisper Light, and it comes with a Whisper Light. Let's see if I have the right one with me. No, I don't. The black one has like a little micro mascara tip, and then it has a more precision tip like this of the white bond. Okay, I've switched mine because I prefer the precision tip. I recommend everyone starting with Whisper Light, which is why the control kit is perfect to be able to start with, because in my opinion, it is the easiest bond to use and to learn with. And for most people, if application is done properly, you can get a very long wear with just this and nothing else. I will be honest, I have tried everything. I have bondage, I have night bond. I've done tutorials with both. I will link all my tutorials down below so you can check them out. If for some reason this still isn't working for you after you've nailed down your application technique, then I would go to one of those. But for learning's sake, use this. This is still all I use. I don't use that on a daily basis. I use this, I keep saying daily, weekly basis. I use this once a week. I use my glass, exactly what comes in the control kit. That gives me a week wear because I know my application is precise. So I feel like application is number one. So don't be so concerned with the bond you're using. Just make sure you're using this properly. Okay, so when you're prepping your eye with bond for the first time, I recommend pulling out all of your gossomers first. This is what I like to do so that I'm not like trying to pull those out and my eyes starting to stick together or anything crazy. Real quickly, in case I have any questions, the other options are bondage, which is a stronger bond. It's applied differently. It is very sticky and tacky. It is harder to apply, in my opinion. Comes just in black. Night bond, which is funny because when I started, this was considered a bond, and now it's not, because again, people have learned a whole lot since this stuff came out, and the more they used it, the more they figured out how it works better in other ways. So again, some of my videos talk about this as a bond. It's because it was at the time that video came out. Now they call it a bond extender, meaning you use one of the other bonds to apply, then you put this on, you don't fuse after, and this kind of should be able to extend your wear without fusing. Also now have what they call a control wax, which I have tried. This is really good to either like prep your wand so it removes any sticky residue. You can even put it on your bottom lashes so your eyes don't get stuck together when you put your bond on. There's a lot of different uses, but I will say it's not a must-have. It's a nice, but when you're starting, you don't necessarily need this to start with. Same goes for things like the blow and the fluffer and the comb. I have it all, but you can do it without that many things. Like I like having multiple wands, but do you need that to start with? Absolutely not. I'm gonna show you application using just the 2 gossomers you would get in your kit. So in my giveaway, I am giving away the bees because those are my favorite of all the core lashes. So for my eye, I haven't worn just cores in a while. Let's see, I'm just gonna pull out the number I need. Now, obviously the first time you apply, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know at all because everybody's eyes are different sizes, okay? So whereas I can get away with using 5 over here, you might need 6 or 7 to cover your whole eye. And it also depends on how many lashes you have. Like I have no lashes in my inside corner, which is why I cannot put any more gossomers any farther in there's nothing to adhere them to. So the only thing you actually do need to get started with this is you have to have some natural lashes, because that is what they adhere to. They don't adhere to skin like strip lashes. So I'm just gently grabbing the individual lash and pulling. If it's not coming out easily, sometimes you have to take some tweezers and kind of pop this cap off and then get them out. Sometimes, every once in a while, you'll get one that's a little more stuck than others. I pulled out 5. I might need more than that, but that will get me started. So like I said, I have very straight lashes. And one thing I do recommend is, if you do have straight lashes, curling them a bit, because if you don't and you're applying those and your natural lashes are sticking through the gossamer, it looks off and it will bother you, because I dropped it. Okay, so I'm just going to clean that off. Oh my God. Okay, I'm not worried about getting it perfect, just enough that they're not sticking downward. Okay, so now that I got my lashes ready, I'm gonna go in with my Whisper Light. Now, there are instructions to comb through with the black first. I don't like to do that. And because I find if I get too much in the tips of my lashes, when I go to fuse, it just gets stuck and pulls off the gossamer. It's just a personal preference thing. I'm gonna show you what works for me. And for me, I prefer the white. Black is a little bit messier when you're learning, because anywhere it touches your skin, it will show. The white is clear, it dries clear. The white is stronger of a bond than the black. Okay, so the first thing I do is I make sure I don't have too much on the tip. One of the first things I recommend when you start is having a mirror below you. So Lashify has a mirror that is awesome because it tilts, because looking downward, not completely downward, but looking downward and lifting your eye to be able to see your waterline when you are learning is key. It also comes with like a magnifying area so that you can really see if you like wear glasses or anything like that. That obviously makes application more difficult because you can't apply with glasses on. So I'm gonna be looking downwards in my mirror. Hopefully you guys will be able to see. Okay, I'm gonna try as visible as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna start by making a row of dots along my lash line. I'm not gonna be next to my waterline. I'm going to be about 2 millimeters up. Okay, so I know that not everyone knows metric terms, right? So what that means is that your ideal placement of these gossamer spines is going to be slightly above your natural lash line. And the reason why is because when you lift, that one's falling off, it's hard to see. When you lift, oh my gosh, these are falling off so bad. Can you tell? When you lift your lashes up, you should be able to see your natural lashes just barely between the spine of the gossamer and your waterline. If you can't, they're too close. That means they're touching the waterline. If they're touching the waterline, you're not gonna have good longevity. I don't care what bond you're using, you're not gonna get the longevity. Okay, so I'm just gonna lift and I'm gonna place, let's see if I can do this. Now I've been talking too much and now it's dried up. Let's get some more bond on there, shall we? Okay, lift, and I'm not going all the way to my very last lash. I'm just gonna start about midway through. And I'm not applying it so heavy that it looks white. I'm just dotting it. Okay, so it's barely visible. Okay, that's gonna give a nice little base for my lashes to adhere to. Okay, so what I like to do personally is I like to start about 3/4 in of my eye. Okay, you wanna make sure your control wand is clean. No, not sticky at all. I like to apply to one without the wandum, okay? No, this one's got a wandum on it. This one does not. Gives you more precision. I'm already getting my eyes stuck together. Okay, I'm gonna start with the B14. I'm gonna lift and I'm gonna place it about 3/4 of the way. I'm gonna pull it up and make sure I can see the root of my lash. And if so, I'm gonna then go up against it right at the base, and I'm gonna gently squeeze. And that squeeze is called a fuse, and that's what really locks it to your lashes. Once you fuse, if it's not in the right place, it's gonna be very hard to just gently pull it away and start again. But until you fuse, you can kind of grab it by the spine and just gently. Okay, now after I get that one down, that's kind of like my guide for, I know that I'm gonna put one on the outside, one on the inside. I always put a slightly smaller one on that inside, or that, sorry, not inside, outside corner. Now the outside corner I feel like is #1 trouble area for everyone. And my biggest word of advice is don't go too far to the outside corner. If you go all the way down to where it's like touching where your lower lash line is, it will lift. It will. I promise you, especially if you are a side sleeper. It just naturally, your eyes will have a lot more oil and stuff in that outside corner, and then it's gonna be touching it constantly, and then that bond will pull. So by giving yourself, again, a little 1 to 2 millimeter kind of gap on that outside corner, it's not gonna lift as easily. Okay, so what I like to do after I get that first lash on is then I like to, and I recommend overlapping edges always. If I don't overlap, that is what happens. You see how that just can split right down the middle? Okay, and that's because that one, I didn't get overlapped well at all. And so if you just go edge to edge, that can much easily kind of gap. Whereas you slightly overlap corners, it just locks it down so much better. I think they call it like brick stacking. I'm gonna put a small amount on both sides of this gossamer so that when I stack, it's gonna kind of glue. So I'm putting it, if this was the gossamer, I'm putting a little bit on this edge, a little bit on this edge. So when I put that other gossamer over it, it's gonna be fused right there. So I just kind of dot a little bit on each edge, and then the lashes right next to it at the same time. Now I got way too much white there. Can you see that? So I'm just gonna touch it with my finger and take off that excess. If it's a white glob, it is going to not help. It's just gonna become a sticky mess. Okay, I'm gonna take that shorter lash, the 12, and I'm going to overlap it on the outside edge. And then I'm gonna take the longer lash, the 14, and overlap it at that top edge. And then fuse. Okay, so I feel like that's always the trickiest part, getting that outside corner. Now I'm gonna do the same thing just on this corner, add another dot, add a little bit more to the lashes right next to it. Take a little bit off. You can tell when your Whisper Light is starting to get too old is it gets kind of gummy and sticky, and I need a new tube because that's my issue right now. Okay, I'm gonna grab that by the tips. Grab it by the tips. Move your eye so you can see your waterline. And then kind of just push it up into place, and it's already had that base of whisper light there. So it's really going to just kind of, almost seems like a magnet. It's just gonna stick right to it. Okay, so I obviously didn't have enough. I'm gonna grab one more B14. Whoops. Now, as we're getting closer to the center of my eye, I like to start angling it so it will angle towards the inner corner, because again, I don't know if you can see, I have like no lashes there. It's not gonna adhere and it's not gonna last if you glue it to 2 natural lashes. It just truly won't. So my wand was starting to get sticky. You can use your fingers or a lintless cloth to kind of wipe that off. You can also use either glass or the control wax to kind of put a little bit on your wand, and it gets rid of that stickiness. Okay, one last one, and that's that inner corner. My gosh, this is getting way too much. Okay, inner corner, and this one I am gonna angle. This is the last one, the B12. I'm gonna kind of move it so it's at an angle, so it will give the illusion I have lashes towards that area. And there you go. Okay, so I left on this eye because I wanted you guys to see the comparison. So this is straight core lashes. Those are B14s and B12. So I went B12, and then I did 4 B14s and then another B12. Okay, this one, so this one's 6. This one is only 5. And this one is those E15s in the middle. And you can tell how much of a thickness I have right here in the center in comparison to this. Can you tell? Same curl, same black, just thicker. Now, I can use these lashes and get that same look. All I would do is probably take 2 more B14s and I would stack them right in the center. So I'm gonna show you how to do that real quick. Another thing you could do is stack something like the D's, which are drama. Okay, let's try that just for fun. So I'm gonna just take 2 D14s, which have the same curl, I think. No, it has a slightly more curl, just a little bit more. Same thickness, slightly more lashes than the B's. So it's gonna give just a little bit more of a thick look. So let's go ahead. Now, when I stack, sometimes I'll use the black, because what the black bond does is will actually make your lashes look blacker in there and give more depth. So let's try the black. Now again, it's not as sticky, so know that. But when you're stacking, all you have to do is go and put some bond right where you're gonna apply it. I don't know if you can see that. See how that area got thicker looking? You can also do it this way, okay? Hold your gossamer like this. You know that it's gonna adhere on this side of the spine, and you can just put a very thin line. And this reminds me almost of like typical lash strips when you would put glue on them, and kind of let them dry a little bit. no need with this one. So then I'm gonna just take that and I'm gonna put it where I want my lashes to be the thickest. Sometimes I go slightly up from where the other spines are, and that will give me even more of a thickness. Now look, I feel like now they're very comparable. I'm gonna just do one more right next to it, just for fun. See that? You can still get drama with core. Obviously I added a volume in there, but there you go. That's kind of how stacking works. Again, you can stack as many as you want. You can do the entire length of it. I like to usually just add a little thickness kind of in that area, but that's because that's my personal preference. You can do whatever you want. The great thing about these lashes is that you can customize it and you can change it every single week or every day or however many times you apply, and you can get a different look every time you apply your lashes. So you don't have to commit to anything. It's not like lash extensions that you have to wear a long time. Everything is applied. Now I'm going to show you how to fuse. Okay, so we've got the placement good. You can still see, hopefully you can see that. You can still see my natural lashes. As you come in here, you guys, it does not have to be perfectly in a straight line of all the spines. I like to angle mine so that they go in more. That is completely okay. That doesn't mean your placement is off. If yours are kind of a little like this, as long as it's not touching your waterline, you are still good. Okay, so my very favorite glass. So I've already fused as I went, but I love to do glass a couple different ways. Here's where I like to put on my wandum. I think I still got glass on mine, so I'm gonna wipe that off. And you can either apply it straight to your lashes, or you can apply it to your wandum and then fuse. So I tend to not do the typical fuse where I cut my entire eye and fuse together, because as you can see, I'm missing part of the base of my lash. My eyes are too small. They're not the full size of this. Okay, so I tend to do a reverse fuse, which means I use the tip of the wand to get every section. And so I tend to just take my glass and I run it along the bottom where all of my bond was. Okay, I even run it through my lashes. Now, if you want a very wispy lash and you're using like A's or C's, if you run this through, it's actually going to kind of thicken up the look of your lashes. So just FYI. And then I like to go even to the base and on the lower lashes where I might have gotten some bond. Now I'm gonna take my wand and fuse each section. I usually do 3, and that's it. Okay, kind of let that dry, and then you can use your spoolie, your fluffer, to kind of break apart. The glass will kind of put some of your lashes to kind of clump together, so you can just brush them back through and you're good to go. So the glass will seal them and help waterproof them. So age-old question, longevity. I get this all the time. So really pay attention to where you're losing your lashes. There are 3 reasons why your lashes aren't lasting. If you are losing them pretty much across the entire eye, like they're all just kind of falling off, especially if your middle lashes are getting loose and you did the brick stacking method, you most definitely have an application issue and they are too close to your waterline. Now, the other 2 things are washing your face or showering and sleeping. So washing your face, people ask me all the time how I shower with them. I will be honest, when I wash my face and when I shower, water will never hit my eyes. And that is something I'm just kind of used to by now. And I just don't let a direct stream of water hit them. Now, like the glass and the bondage kind of help make them water resistant, but actually waterproof is very hard to do. So they are water resistant. You can shower, you can even swim in them, but I just don't want a direct stream of water that's going to, loosen them up to where it's going to make them fall off quicker. I try to get the absolute best wear time I can. And so I do have a separate video where I show how I wash my face. I tend to use a microfiber towel to remove my makeup, and I never splash my face anymore. I use that wet microfiber cloth. When it comes to showering, I just don't put my face directly in the water. I will let water directly hit my face everywhere but my eyes. No joke, and it works fine. Now, steam is one thing that can loosen your lashes over time and loosen up those bonds. But you guys, I've even had a steam facial wearing my lashes and it did not loosen them. I take hot showers. It does not loosen them. I was afraid when I first started wearing them that steam was really going to affect mine, but I have not had any issues with that. I'd say I probably wouldn't go sit in a sauna, but I have had a facial and I was scared they would be falling off, and they didn't, and they still lasted a full week. Okay, so besides washing your face and showering, I would say my number one issue was sleeping. So when I first started, my very first application was the only time I lost a gossamer in the middle of the night. And for one, my application wasn't right. I know that now. I was too close to the water line, and that's why they fell off. And I also am a side sleeper. So I wanted to share what I've been using lately. And I learned of this in the Lashify Life Facebook group. And I was like, I need that. And I've been dying to try it, even for just my skin, for it. Okay, so this is called the Sleep and Glow, and it is a special pillow that kind of fits the contours of your face. And I had to show what it looks like. Okay, so when you sleep on your side, first of all, besides the fact that it gives us wrinkles, we all know that. It's really difficult to sleep on your side and not have it pulling at your lashes and tugging at that outside corner. So I have been trying to teach myself to sleep on my back for 2 years now, but I still can't. Like, I just can't do it. I'm a side sleeper through and through. And this is amazing because I was trying to kind of hold my face up to my hand so that my pillow wouldn't squash my eyelashes for years. And this solves my problem. So it has this cutout. I'll show you guys. This is my new magic pillow. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick. It has this cutout. So literally as you're sleeping, like, you put your head in it and it doesn't touch your eyes. Not to mention it doesn't smash your face and give you wrinkles, but just for the sheer fact of the lashes, it is a game changer. So this is the Sleep and Glow. This is the Omnia pillow. I do have a discount code, the Contoured Chemist 10. I will put my link down below if you want to check it out. I would say if you are a side sleeper, it is a game changer. And if you're like me and you cannot teach yourself to sleep on your back to save your life, then it will save your lashes. You will no longer have that outer corner lift. And if that is your issue, then this pillow will solve that for you. If you're a face sleeper, I don't know if anything can help that. I'm sorry. Long enough. I think I've covered all the bases on how to get started, how to apply, how to remove, my recommendations on getting started, and how to keep them on for a good week. I'm happy to help if you have any issues. Also have a discount link below in the drop box below the video. Thing that's changed over the past couple years, and I believe now if you use that link and purchase a control kit, you will then get a discount on your next purchase. So when you go to buy, say, like the volume gossomers and you know which size you need, then you will get a discount. So just a heads up, that's how that works. Be sure to head over to Instagram and enter my giveaway so you can maybe earn a control kit and all my other favorites from skincare to makeup and even some jewelry. I put all my favorites in a box. All you have to do is follow me over on Instagram and comment on my content for the month of January. At the end of January, I will announce the winner. And I hope that helped. If you have any questions regarding Lashify, I'm happy to help. Hopefully that clears some things up and you guys love it as much as I do. Thanks for watching. Love you.